Last week, I met a mother in the school parking lot. She had just dropped her child off and was standing there, hands shaking. "I just spent the entire 20-minute drive here yelling at my son because he forgot his math homework at home," she whispered. "Now he's walking into school with red, puffy eyes, and I'm sitting here feeling like the worst mother in the world. How did I let a homework assignment become more important than my child's feelings?" If you're listening to this and thinking about your own moments of losing it over forgotten assignments, messy bedrooms, or those daily battles with your kids, you're not alone. Each of us has moments where our love for our children somehow transforms into control, and that control ends up hurting the very people we're trying to protect. Welcome home to the Where Hearts Rest family. I'm here to walk alongside you on this journey. For the next 50 minutes, we're going to follow Emily, a mother who found her way from morning chaos, filled with forgotten backpacks and last-minute panic, to peaceful evenings with her family. But the miracle wasn't that her children suddenly became perfectly responsible. It was that Emily discovered an ancient secret that parents have used to heal their families for thousands of years. Today's story will take you through 4 life-changing moments. You'll watch Emily discover why the harder she tried to control homework completion, bedroom cleanliness, and every small detail of family life, the more she lost the very things she was trying to protect. And more importantly, you'll learn how to do the opposite. By the time we finish, you'll have specific tools to transform not just your children's behavior, but your own heart as well. Find a comfortable place to listen, maybe in your car after drop-off, or while you're prepping lunch. Take a deep breath. And let me tell you about the afternoon Emily discovered that sometimes love means letting go. Let's pause here for a moment. If that story just made your heart ache, it's because it's real. Not because we're terrible parents, but because we're parents who care so deeply that sometimes our love becomes overwhelming. In this space, where hearts rest, there are no perfect parents. We're just loving hearts doing our absolute best. Some days are easy, the kids cooperate, everything flows smoothly, and we feel like those parents in the feel-good movies. But then there are other days when we're yelling about brushing teeth, stressing over grades, or feeling like we're battling our own children over every little thing. Emily was there too. She was the mom standing in the kitchen at 11 p.m., working on a science project her child forgot about until the last minute. She was the one checking 3 times to make sure her kid remembered their gym clothes, then worrying about it all day anyway. She used to think that love meant controlling everything to protect her children from failure, from disappointment, from anything that might hurt them. But then Emily discovered something. A way of understanding love that has existed for thousands of years, from ancient temples to modern families today. This understanding didn't come from the latest parenting books or social media experts. It came from ancient wisdom about what it truly means to love someone. Today, We're going to walk with Emily through 4 transformative moments, 4 discoveries that changed not just how she parented, but how she loved herself. These moments will take us from holding tight to letting go, from controlling to trusting, from fear to love. And perhaps, in Emily's story, you'll find the key to unlock a new way of loving your own family. Let me take you into an ordinary Tuesday morning in Emily's life. 6:45 am. She'd been up for 15 minutes already, preparing everything to perfection. Breakfast was laid out just right. The kids' clothes were neatly arranged, and Emily had triple-checked the entire day's schedule. "Kids, it's 7 o'clock. Come down for breakfast," Emily called from the kitchen, her voice still bright and cheerful. But when 7:15 arrived, and only one child had come down, Emily felt the familiar tension begin to rise. "We only have 20 minutes left. Why aren't you listening to me?" The familiar scene began to unfold. One child couldn't find their shoes. Another complained about breakfast. The backpack was nowhere to be found. Emily ran from room to room, her voice getting higher. "I've reminded you hundreds of times. Why can't you just be responsible?" By 7:45, the family finally made it to the car, but the atmosphere was tight as a wire. Emily drove in silence, gripping the steering wheel, her mind constantly repeating, "Why does everything have to be so difficult? I prepared everything." Mornings like these weren't the exception in Emily's life. She always believed that if she planned enough, controlled enough details, everything would go smoothly. Love, as Emily understood it, meant ensuring her children never had to face chaos, never forgot homework, never ran late. She thought she was protecting them. But then came that Thursday. Emily was at the grocery store with her youngest daughter, trying to shop quickly according to her meticulously planned list. That's when the little one dropped a carton of milk, and it shattered all over the floor. "Why weren't you being careful?" Emily exploded, her voice echoing through the aisle. "I told you to hold it tight. Now we're going to be late, and I have to clean up this mess." In the silence that followed, Emily saw her daughter's face. Big round eyes, filled with tears, and a fear that Emily never wanted to see in her child. Around them, other shoppers were staring, some with sympathy, others with judgment. Emily knelt down and pulled her daughter into her arms. "Sweetheart, I'm so sorry," she whispered. But inside, Emily knew that sorry wasn't enough. She realized this had happened too many times. She was teaching her child fear instead of love. That evening, after the children were asleep, Emily sat alone and asked herself, "What am I doing?" She remembered words her grandmother used to say when she was little. "Honey, sometimes holding on too tight makes the most beautiful things fly away." That's when Emily first heard about a concept that she would later learn was Buddhist teaching. A friend had shared with her, There's ancient wisdom that says suffering doesn't come from what happens to us, but from how tightly we cling to the way we think things should be. Maybe, Emily thought, I've been clinging too tightly to everything being perfect. That weekend, Emily decided to try a small experiment. Instead of preparing clothes for her daughter, she asked, "What would you like to wear today?" Instead of planning the breakfast menu, she let her child choose. And something magical happened. Not everything was perfect, but her daughter smiled more. The tension in the house decreased. And for the first time in months, Emily felt like she could breathe. Let's pause together here. Take a deep breath. Think about the mornings in your own family. Have there been times when you felt like you were holding on too tightly? That's completely normal. Every parent has moments like that. Send yourself some kindness. You're loving your children in the best way you know how. Now, let's see what Emily learned next as she began to let go. The following week, Emily faced her biggest challenge yet: homework time. For years, Emily's family homework area had been like a military command center. She would sit next to her 9-year-old son every afternoon, checking each answer, correcting every spelling mistake, and making sure everything was up to standard. When her son struggled with math problems, Emily would sit down and explain until he understood. When he forgot to bring books home, Emily would immediately email the teacher to get the assignments. "I just want to help him succeed," Emily would tell herself. But after that moment in the grocery store, she began to wonder, am I really helping or am I hurting? That Monday, when Emily's son sat down at his usual homework spot, she made a bold decision. Today, you're going to do your homework on your own. I'll be here if you need to ask questions, but I'm not going to check every single answer. Her son's eyes went wide. But what if I get something wrong? Then you'll learn from that mistake, Emily replied, even though inside she was anxiously spiraling. Those first few days were tough. Emily sat in the kitchen, listening to her son struggle with math problems, every cell in her body wanting to rush in and help. She gripped her hands together, reminding herself, trust. Let him learn independence. Tuesday, her son couldn't figure out a difficult math problem. Instead of jumping in to rescue him, Emily asked, "What do you think you could do to figure this out?" "Maybe I could ask my friends or look back at the examples in the book," her son replied after thinking. Wednesday, Emily's worst fear happened. Her son came home with a poor grade on a math test. Normally, Emily would panic, immediately arrange tutoring, and control his homework even more tightly. But this time, she sat down next to him and asked, "How do you feel about this grade?" "I'm sad, but I know I didn't study hard enough," her son admitted. So what do you think you could do differently next time? I'll study more and ask the teacher when I don't understand. Emily realized that her son was learning to take responsibility for his own results. What she had been trying to teach for years through control, he was now learning naturally. By Friday, something magical happened. Emily's son started his homework without being reminded. When he encountered difficulties, he tried to solve them himself before asking for help. And most importantly, he seemed more confident, more relaxed. "Mom," her son said Friday evening, "I like doing homework by myself better. It feels like I'm actually learning instead of just getting things right." If you're listening to this while driving or doing other things, this is a perfect pause point. We've just witnessed Emily's first trust experiment. When you're ready, we'll continue with the wisdom this taught her. What Emily was discovering has a name in Buddhist tradition: right action. But right here doesn't mean perfect or controlling everything. It means acting from wisdom, not from fear. In parenting, right action means trusting our children's inner wisdom while still providing loving guidance. Think of a river. It knows how to flow around obstacles. When we stop trying to control the river, we can guide it gently. Buddha taught that all beings have Buddha nature within them, a natural wisdom that knows how to grow and learn. This is true for our children too. When we trust their natural abilities, we create space for those abilities to flourish. Simple practices. Ask instead of demand. Invite instead of force. Guide your child to find their own solutions instead of rescuing them. Inspired by her homework success, Emily decided to apply this approach to bedtime routines, another nightly battle in her household. Instead of reciting the list of things that needed to be done before bed, Emily asked her youngest daughter, "What do you think you need to do to get ready for a good night's sleep?" The little girl thought for a moment and said, "Brush my teeth, put on pajamas, and read a book." "Anything else?" "Oh, and get my clothes ready for tomorrow." Emily was amazed. Her daughter had remembered everything necessary. More than that, because the child had created this list herself, she followed through with cooperation rather than resistance. Breathe with me here. Think about one area of your family life where you might experiment with trust. Maybe it's homework, maybe it's cleaning rooms, or getting ready for school. Notice any resistance. That's normal and okay. Trust grows slowly, like seeds in spring soil. Now send some love to your children, trusting that they have wisdom to learn and grow. Let's see what Emily learned next about balancing love and letting go. 3 weeks into Emily's trust experiments, her biggest test arrived in the form of her 16-year-old daughter asking for car keys. "Mom, Sarah's having a party this Friday night. Can I drive myself there? I've had my license for 2 months now, and you know I'm a good driver," her daughter said, standing in the kitchen doorway with that hopeful, yet prepared for rejection look that teenagers perfect. Emily's immediate internal response was a flood of what ifs. What if she gets in an accident? What if there's drinking at the party? What if she's out too late? What if something terrible happens and I'm not there to protect her? The old Emily would have said, "Absolutely not. I'll drive you there and pick you up. And I want to talk to Sarah's parents first. And you need to text me every hour." But the new Emily, the one who had been learning about trust and letting go, felt caught between two worlds. That evening, instead of giving an immediate answer, Emily sat down with her daughter for a real conversation. "I want to understand what this means to you," she said. "Tell me about why driving yourself is important." Her daughter's eyes lit up with surprise. "Well, it's not just about the party. It's about feeling like you trust me to make good decisions. When you drive me everywhere, it feels like you think I can't handle things on my own. And it's embarrassing. I'm almost 17, Mom." Emily felt her heart tighten. "Can I share something with you? I'm scared. Not because I don't trust you, but because I love you so much that the thought of anything happening to you terrifies me." "I know, Mom. But you can't protect me from everything forever." In that moment, Emily realized her daughter was teaching her something profound. This wasn't just about car keys. It was about learning to love without smothering, to care without controlling. "Okay," Emily said slowly. "Let's figure this out together. What would responsible independence look like?" They spent the next hour creating agreements together. Her daughter would text when she arrived safely, leave the party by 11 p.m., and call if any situation made her uncomfortable. Emily would trust her to follow through, but the daughter understood that trust, once broken, would need to be rebuilt. Friday night was torture for Emily. She sat on the couch, fighting every instinct to call or text constantly. At 8:47 p.m., her phone buzzed, made it safe. Party is fun but kind of boring. "Love you." At 10:52 p.m., "Leaving now. See you soon." When her daughter walked through the door at 11:15 p.m., Emily was waiting with a smile instead of an interrogation. "How was it?" "It was good. But you know what? I actually wanted to leave earlier. Some kids were drinking, and it made me uncomfortable. I felt proud that I trusted my instincts and left when I wanted to." Emily realized this was what the Buddhist teachers call the middle path, the wisdom of finding balance between extremes. In parenting, This meant firm boundaries with flexible methods. Love that sets limits because it cares, not walls because it fears. The middle path doesn't mean being permissive or abandoning all structure. It means finding the sweet spot between rigid control and complete freedom. Like bamboo that bends in the wind but doesn't break, effective parenting requires both strength and flexibility. 2 weeks later, Emily faced another test when her son forgot to study for a major history test. The old Emily would have launched into panic mode, staying up late to help him cram, writing excuse notes, maybe even considering letting him stay home sick. Instead, Emily applied her new understanding. "How are you feeling about tomorrow's test?" she asked. "Nervous. I really messed up by not studying. What do you think your options are?" Her son thought for a moment. "I could stay up all night and try to learn everything, but that probably won't work well. Or I could just take the test and accept whatever grade I get, then talk to my teacher about how to do better next time." What feels right to you? Honestly, I think I need to face the consequences and learn from this. The next evening, her son came home with a D+ on his test. Emily's every instinct wanted to fix it, to call the teacher, to somehow make the pain go away. Instead, she sat down next to him and asked, "What did you learn from this experience?" "That I need to start studying earlier and ask for help when I don't understand something. And that you trust me to handle my own mistakes." Emily was amazed. By not rescuing him from the natural consequences of his choices, she had allowed him to develop his own internal compass for responsibility. Let's breathe together again. Send loving kindness to yourself as a parent trying to find this balance. Now send loving kindness to your children, exactly as they are, trusting their ability to learn and grow. Feel the difference between controlling love and freeing love. Notice how it feels in your body when you imagine trusting more deeply. What Emily was practicing has been taught for thousands of years, the art of upaya, skillful means. This is love that adapts its expression to what is truly needed in each moment. Sometimes love says yes, sometimes it says no. Sometimes it steps in, sometimes it steps back. The wisdom lies in knowing which is which. Emily began to understand that boundaries set from love feel completely different from restrictions imposed from fear. When she told her daughter she needed to be home by curfew, she wasn't trying to control her daughter's life. She was creating a safe container for her daughter to practice independence. "I love you enough to let you make mistakes and learn from them," became Emily's new mantra. "And I love you enough to provide structure while you're learning." This shift changed everything in their household. The children began coming to Emily with problems instead of hiding them, because they knew she would guide them towards solutions rather than take over. They started taking more responsibility because they felt trusted to handle it. Notice we're more than halfway through our journey together. Emily has moved from controlling to trusting to now finding the wise balance between the two. She's discovered that love doesn't mean preventing all difficulties. It means providing support while children learn to navigate challenges themselves. The most beautiful transformation is still ahead of us. What happens when this shift in one person begins to heal an entire family system? What ripples of change start flowing through all the relationships in the house? Let's see how Emily's individual healing became a gift to everyone she loves. 1 month into Emily's journey, something unexpected happened. Her husband noticed. "You seem different lately," he said one evening after the kids had gone to bed. "More relaxed. Less stressed about everything. What's changed?" Emily smiled. "I've been learning to let go a little more. To trust the kids more. And honestly, it's been amazing." "I've noticed too," he admitted. "The house feels calmer. The kids seem happier. Even I feel less tense when I come home from work." This was Emily's first glimpse into something profound that Buddhist teachers have known for centuries. When one person in a family system begins to heal, everyone benefits. Like dropping a stone into still water, the ripples of transformation spread outward, touching every relationship in the household. The most dramatic change came during their weekly family meetings. For years, these had been Emily's platform for setting rules, assigning chores, and managing every detail of family life. She would come prepared with agendas, schedules, and solutions to problems the kids didn't even know they had. "Okay, everyone," Emily would typically begin. "Here's what we're doing this week. Soccer practice is Tuesday and Thursday, piano lessons Wednesday, and don't forget we have dinner at Grandma's on Sunday. Any questions?" The kids would sit there, passive recipients of their weekly marching orders. But after Emily's transformation, she tried something radically different. "So, what's working well in our family right now? And what feels challenging?" Her teenage daughter looked up in surprise. "Are you actually asking our opinion?" "Yes. I really want to know what you think." What followed was the first real conversation their family had had in months. Her son shared that he felt overwhelmed by after-school activities. Her daughter mentioned that she wanted more responsibility around the house. Her husband admitted he felt disconnected from the daily rhythms of family life because of his work schedule. Instead of immediately solving everyone's problems, Emily asked, "What ideas do you all have?" They spent an hour brainstorming together. Her son decided to drop one activity to have more free time. Her daughter volunteered to take over dinner planning one night a week. Her husband committed to having device-free time every evening from 7-8 p.m. "This is what family meetings should feel like," her daughter said as they wrapped up. "Like we're all on the same team instead of you telling us what to do." Emily's husband began adopting her approach too. Instead of immediately launching into fix-it mode when the kids came to him with problems, he started asking questions first. "How do you think we could handle this?" became his new favorite phrase. The children began opening up more, sharing struggles they had previously hidden. They started taking initiative on household responsibilities without being asked. Most remarkably, they began problem-solving together as siblings instead of running to parents to referee every conflict. 3 months into this transformation, the family faced their biggest test yet. Emily's husband lost his job unexpectedly. In the past, this kind of crisis would have sent Emily into full control mode, managing everyone's emotions, making all the decisions, and trying to shield the children from any difficulty. Instead, Emily gathered the family together and shared the news honestly but calmly. Dad's company had to let some people go, and he was one of them. "This is challenging, and we're going to figure it out together." Her younger son's eyes filled with tears. "Are we going to be okay?" The old Emily would have immediately reassured him that everything would be fine, even if she wasn't sure. The new Emily said, "We're going to go through some changes, and some parts might be hard. But we love each other, and we'll support each other through this." Her teenage daughter surprised everyone by saying, "I could get a part-time job. I've been wanting more independence anyway." Her son added, "Maybe we could cancel some of our activities to save money." Emily's husband was moved to tears. "I love how you're all jumping in to help. Let's see what Dad can find for work first, and then we'll make decisions together." Over the following weeks, instead of falling apart under stress, the family grew closer. They had honest conversations about money, made decisions collaboratively, and supported each other through the uncertainty. Emily's husband found a new job within 6 weeks, but the experience had taught them all something valuable about resilience and teamwork. Breathe with your whole family in mind. Imagine sending peace to every relationship in your home. See your family held in love and wisdom. Trust that your healing creates space for everyone's healing. Notice how it feels to imagine your entire household filled with this kind of love and cooperation. What Emily was witnessing is what Buddhists call interdependence, the understanding that we are all connected, and when one person changes, it affects the whole system. Her individual journey toward letting go had created space for everyone in her family to grow. Her children, no longer feeling micromanaged, began to develop their own sense of responsibility and self-direction. Her husband, seeing Emily's trust in action, began extending that same trust to the kids. The entire family dynamic shifted from hierarchy to collaboration. "It's like we're all learning to be more ourselves," Emily reflected to a friend. When I stopped trying to control everyone, they had room to show me who they really are. The house felt different too. Instead of the underlying tension that had marked their family life for years, there was a sense of ease. Conflicts still arose, but they were handled with curiosity rather than immediately jumping to solutions. Mistakes became learning opportunities instead of crises. Most importantly, Emily noticed that her children began coming to her and her husband with problems instead of hiding them. Because they knew their parents would guide them towards solutions rather than take over or judge them, they felt safe to be honest about their struggles. "I trust you to figure this out" became the most powerful phrase in their household. It conveyed love, confidence, and respect all at once. Emily realized that this transformation wasn't just about becoming a better parent, it was about creating a family culture based on mutual respect, trust, and love. Each person felt valued for who they were, not just for following rules or meeting expectations. As we near the end of our journey together, you might be wondering, this all sounds beautiful, but how do I actually apply this in my daily life? How do I take these insights and make them practical for my own family? Let's explore exactly that, the specific tools and practices that can help you create this kind of transformation in your own home. 6 months after that first breakdown in the grocery store, Emily had become a different parent. But more importantly, she had developed a toolkit of practices that worked in real life, with real kids, in real moments of chaos and frustration. "People always ask me," Emily shared with her sister over coffee, "what exactly did you do differently?" They want the specific steps, not just the philosophy. So let me share with you the practical framework that Emily developed, the daily practices that transformed her family from the inside out. Emily's morning intention practice. Every morning before her feet hit the floor, Emily would take 3 deep breaths and set an intention. How can I guide from love today instead of fear? This wasn't about being perfect. It was about remembering her deeper purpose as a parent. Some days her intention was patience with the morning rush. Other days it was, trust my son's ability to handle his responsibilities. The specific intention mattered less than the practice of pausing to remember what kind of parent she wanted to be. The 3-breath reset. Emily discovered that most of her controlling reactions happened in a split second, that moment when her child forgot their backpack, or left dishes in the sink, or didn't follow through on something they'd promised. So she developed what she called the 3-breath reset. Breath 1. I notice I'm about to react from fear. Breath 2. What would love do here? Breath 3. How can I guide instead of control? This simple practice gave her just enough space to choose a different response. Instead of, "Why can't you ever remember your backpack?" she might say, "I see you forgot your backpack. What's your plan for handling this?" Evening reflection questions. Before bed, Emily would ask herself 3 questions. Where did I trust today, and how did that feel? Where did I control, and what was I afraid of? What is one thing I appreciate about each of my children today? These questions weren't about judging herself, but about noticing patterns and celebrating growth. The weekly family heart check. Once a week, Emily's family would have what they called a heart check, a time to share what was working and what felt challenging. The format was simple. One thing that made each person feel loved this week. One thing that felt difficult or frustrating. One appreciation for another family member. One idea for making the coming week even better. These conversations created intimacy and prevented small issues from becoming big problems. Practical scenarios. Emily's real life applications. Homework struggles. Instead of hovering and correcting, Emily learned to say, "I trust you to do your best work. I'm here if you need help figuring something out." When her son struggled, she would ask, "What part is challenging you?" rather than immediately providing answers. Sibling conflicts. Rather than immediately solving fights, Emily would gather both children and say, "I see you're both upset. Help me understand what happened." She would facilitate their problem solving instead of imposing solutions. Morning chaos. Emily stopped trying to control every detail of the morning routine. Instead, she created a simple checklist with her children and let them manage their own preparation. "What do you need to remember for school today?" became more effective than, "Did you brush your teeth? Did you pack your lunch? Did you get your homework?" Teenage drama. When her daughter came home upset about friend conflicts, Emily resisted the urge to fix everything. "That sounds really hard. What do you think might help?" proved much more powerful than immediately offering advice. Screen time battles. Instead of being the screen time police, Emily involved her kids in creating family agreements about technology use. What feels like a healthy balance to you led to more cooperation than arbitrary time limits. The 5 wisdom questions. Emily developed 5 questions that became her North Star for parenting decisions. Am I acting from love or fear right now? What would trusting look like in this moment? How can I guide without controlling? What is my child's soul trying to teach me here? Where is my own healing needed in this situation? These questions helped her pause and choose responses that aligned with her deeper values, rather than reacting from old patterns. Building your community of support. Emily realized that this journey of conscious parenting couldn't be walked alone. She began connecting with other parents who were asking similar questions. Some she met through her children's schools, others through online communities focused on mindful parenting. "You don't have to figure this out by yourself," became Emily's message to other struggling parents. Share your experiments in the comments below. Your story helps other parents feel less alone. Tag a parent friend who needs this reminder that they're not the only one figuring it out as they go. Emily discovered that when parents support each other's growth instead of competing or judging, everyone's children benefit. She started sharing her challenges and victories honestly, which gave other parents permission to do the same. Creating sustainable change. The key to Emily's transformation wasn't perfection, it was consistency with self-compassion. She had days when she fell back into old patterns, moments when fear took over, and she found herself controlling and managing every detail. The difference was that now she noticed more quickly and adjusted course. Progress, not perfection, became her mantra. I'm learning to be a conscious parent, not a perfect one. Emily learned to celebrate small wins. The morning when she let her son handle his own forgotten lunch money. The afternoon when she listened to her daughter's friendship drama without immediately offering solutions. The evening when the whole family solved a scheduling conflict together. The ripple effect beyond family. As Emily's parenting transformed, she noticed changes in other areas of her life too. She became less controlling with friends, more trusting in her marriage, and more patient with herself. The Buddhist principle of loving kindness was spreading beyond her household. Her children's teachers began commenting on their increased responsibility and self-direction. Other parents started asking what had changed in their family. Emily realized that healing herself had created a positive impact that extended far beyond her own home. As we move into our final practices together, remember that this journey Emily took didn't happen overnight. It unfolded over months of small experiments, gentle corrections, and growing trust. The path from controlling to loving, from fear to trust, is walked one breath, one choice, one moment at a time. Now, let's seal these insights with a practice that can transform your relationship with your entire family. A loving kindness meditation designed specifically for parents who are learning to love through letting go. Emily's transformation had given her many tools, but there was one practice that became the heart of everything, a meditation that healed not just her parenting, but her entire relationship with her family. Tonight, I want to guide you through this same practice that changed everything for Emily. Find a comfortable position where you can rest for the next few minutes. You can close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. If you're driving or doing other activities, just let the words wash over you and return to them later when you can fully settle in. Take 3 deep, slow breaths. With each exhale, let your body relax a little more. Notice that for these few minutes, you don't need to fix anything, manage anything, or control anything. You can simply be here, breathing, opening your heart. Loving kindness for yourself as a parent. We begin with you because you cannot give what you don't have. Place your hand on your heart if that feels comfortable. Bring to mind the parent you are, not the perfect parent you think you should be, but the real parent you are, doing your best with the love and wisdom you have right now. Silently repeat these phrases, letting them settle into your heart. May I be patient with myself as I learn to parent differently. May I forgive myself for the moments when fear took over. May I trust my deep love for my children, even when I don't know what to do. May I be peaceful in the uncertainty of raising human beings. Rest here for a moment, breathing in this kindness toward yourself. Loving kindness for each of your children. Now bring your first child to mind. See their face, remember their laugh, their unique spirit. They didn't come into this world to be controlled or managed. They came to grow into who they're meant to be. Send them these loving wishes. May you be happy and feel truly seen for who you are. May you be safe and trust your own inner wisdom. May you be free to make mistakes and learn from them. May you always know how deeply you are loved. If you have other children, bring each one to mind, sending them the same loving intentions. Notice how each child is different, how each one needs your love expressed in their own unique way. Loving kindness for your partner. If you have a partner in parenting, bring them to your heart now. They too are learning, growing, trying to love in the best way they know how. See them not as someone to change or fix, but as a fellow traveler on this journey of raising children. May we support each other's growth as parents and as people. May we be patient with each other's learning process. May our love create a safe harbor for our children. May we remember we're on the same team, especially in difficult moments. Loving kindness for your whole family. Now expand your awareness to hold your entire family in your heart. Your household, your daily life together, all the ordinary moments that make up your shared journey. May our home be filled with laughter and peace. May we grow together in love and understanding. May our family be a place where everyone can be authentically themselves. May the love we share ripple out to heal the world around us. Integration blessing. As we prepare to return to your daily life, take this feeling with you. This love, this patience, this trust, it's not something you need to manufacture or force. It's already within you, waiting to be remembered in each moment with your children. Emily learned that parenting isn't about getting everything right. It's about staying connected to love, even in challenging moments. It's about remembering that your children's souls chose you as their guide for profound reasons you may never fully understand. When you open your eyes or return your full attention to your activities, carry this love with you. Let it inform how you speak to your children today, how you respond when they struggle, how you hold them in your heart even when they're driving you crazy. Remember, every moment offers a new choice. Every interaction is a chance to choose love over fear, trust over control, connection over correction. Your family doesn't need a perfect parent. They need a present parent, a loving parent, a parent who's willing to grow alongside them. And that's exactly what you're becoming. One breath, one choice, one loving moment at a time. When you're ready, return to ordinary awareness, but carry this extraordinary love with you into your family life. We've traveled through something special together today. From Emily's first chaotic morning to the moment she discovered the power of letting go, from her initial trust experiments to the transformation of her entire family, we've witnessed something truly miraculous. But more than Emily's story, we've walked through the landscape of your own heart. You've given yourself the gift of one sacred hour, time to pause, listen, and reflect on how you love your family. That act alone is a profound expression of self-compassion. Emily's story continues every day, just like yours does. There will be days that feel easy, days that feel challenging. Both are part of the path. Remember, you're not trying to become a perfect parent. You're learning to become a conscious parent, a loving presence for your family. You already carry within you everything you need to create a peaceful family. The ancient wisdom that Emily discovered about letting go, trusting, and loving unconditionally now lives in your heart too. Every time you choose to breathe deeply instead of react, every time you ask instead of command, every time you trust instead of control, you're applying tools that have healed families for thousands of years. If today's journey has touched your heart, I invite you to join our growing Where Hearts Rest family. Subscribe to continue exploring more stories of healing and transformation with us. Share your own experiments in the comments below. Your story matters and could be the light that guides another parent through their own challenges. Tag a parent friend who might need to hear Emily's wisdom today. Together, we're raising children and healing ourselves. Together, we're creating a more peaceful world, one family at a time. Until we meet again in this sacred space, may your home be filled with laughter and peace. May your children feel truly seen and deeply loved. May you trust the profound wisdom within your parent heart. And may all families everywhere know this same kind of healing. With infinite love, from Where Hearts Rest, where every heart finds its peace.